Oh, what's up guys, Sub-Zero here. I am doing another VOD review of YBY1 because I was just blown away by the last game of his that I watched, and by his LP in general, that I said, you know what, I just gotta watch this guy's entire VOD. Let's do a quick translation of this this augment to see what we got. We got upgrade bonus. Upgrade bonus. What could that possibly be? Upgrade bonus. Man, I really wish I was multilingual, but I mean, like, it's gold. It's probably when you take an augment, get gold, the old Ecliptic Vaults one, if I had to guess. For some reason, the Vietnamese translation is so much worse than the Chinese one would usually give me something that I could like kind of get there. And the Vietnamese translation on this website that I use, Yandex, just for some reason does not work at all. I mean, I got a little bit of it, but upgrade bonus, really? Got a Spellweaver Annie here. Double Senna, though, is really, really gross. And of course, we're going to hold on to this Cassante because we are Heartsteel lovers in this house. Going to get dropped a tier and a glove here. Nothing too crazy yet. Got a Jax already with half of Hodge. Well, not with half of Hodge, with full Hodge here. So something to consider for sure. We're probably looking for frontline chosen in this position. I think I would end up holding this Jax here over potentially I mean, I guess you have to hold the Jinx, so it's probably over like Kaisa. Get drop bow here and belt here. So the full 5-component opener here, and he is going to opt to hold on to the Jax. All right. And maybe we just take a few more components here with Buried Treasures. Combat Caster is also an incredibly good augment. Really, really strong if you're playing into like Sentinel strategies, because they're going to cast, gain a shield, which is going to do a ton of work with that extra armor to Mar they have. I believe the stats might like this maybe even more than Buried Treasures. Let's do a quick stat check here. So we got Buried Treasures 4.43, and then Combat Caster here. I misspelled it at the end after writing it. 4.4. So yeah, the stats say Combat Caster is slightly better, and I could almost see it. Your slams here are actually like almost straightforward. Because like I really like Evan Shroud as a slam from this position, but then the rest of your slams are a little bit awkward. That's the only problem. So maybe because we don't have a second really good slam here, you just go for the Buried Treasure so you have some extra items to play around with. Combat Caster is really strong though. I'm curious to see what he takes here. I think after thinking about it for a sec, I might have to take this, but I guess we'll see here. Because yeah, like Evan Shroud is great. Oh, and he's looking at maybe even Nashers. This Edge of Night augment is also really, really solid, but we don't have a single Edge of Night component, so I don't think that's what we want to go for here, but I guess we'll see. Looks like he's hovering Buried Treasures here. He's going to go for the Buried Treasures here. Picks up a Sentinel Cassante here. And item-wise, we got a Rod. Now, Rod, most of the time, you only want to kill it by making a Protector, not Protector's Vow, but the other one, Crown Guard. We don't have a single Crown Guard component here. So, yeah, these items actually look a little yucky. I wouldn't be shocked if we go for just a bit of a Lost Streak strategy here. Make something like an Evan's Shroud here, play a Deflect, and then just wait to make these into better items. But I'm curious to see what YBY1 does here, because this guy's got really good stats, so I wouldn't be surprised if he slams something really interesting here that changes my preconceived notions of what items even are, and yep, he's gonna do it again. Oh my god, the Gwinsu Slam as the only slam here. Gwinsu, fantastic item on Senna. Pretty horrible item once you get to stage 4 because there's no one who holds it well. You really only want it onto like a Sona, but you have to be going 9 to make that work. But I guess if you're going 9 every single game, then you can really make that work. Blue buff, actually a very good item, so you can definitely pick this up. If we win here, it's quite easy to make 10 gold. If we lose, I wonder what we do here, because it feels really bad to sell this Senna pair on a loss here. And yeah, he almost, I think, he was looking at potentially sending Evan's Shroud here to try to win this fight, because I think winning this fight is really important. I think he made the call that Evan Shroud wouldn't win this fight, but I'm not actually 100% sure if that's true. I feel like maybe he could have won with Evan Shroud, but he's going to say, well, maybe he's just playing an AP. I mean, maybe we're playing into like Ari or something. And wow, he's going to make the declaw. I don't know. This guy, like, these slams are insane. Like, if you haven't been playing TFT on these patch, 2 out of 3 of the items we've made so far are kind of like some of the lowest priority items in the game right now. Gwinsu's Rage Blade, Declaw. If you go to any like item tier list from strong players, they'll tell you these items are like unslammable and that they would rather just full open and look for something better here. So the fact that YBY1 is slamming these items is really, really interesting to me. Suggests that maybe he's getting some kind of edge on this patch that other people aren't by just making items like this and playing around them. Something like the Giant's Belt looks really, really nice here. Is the glove open as well, right? I feel like something like a Giant's Belt to go for just Warmogs here, give me more HP to play with on my front line, looks really, really nice. Looks like he's looking at... Okay, yeah, he's going to go for the belt here. I think the belt makes too much sense to not build in this position, just because it's going to scale so well with the Declaw. You just need to get some armor onto this guy at some point. But yeah, we're on a 2 loss. Not even a bad 2 loss at all, actually. 94 HP 2 loss is very, very healthy. We are going to level 5 here, play the Garen for Sentinel, and yeah, I mean, we have what honestly looks like not a bad board by any means. He opted to sell the Centipair here to make gold, which I think is something that seems crazy, but I've seen more and more people do this patch just because gold is king. Being able to 4-2 it is so important in this patch, and you know, like if you're not 4-2ing it, your spot just becomes so bad. Wow, Sentinel Garen here. I think that is a pickup here. What you could even do, because you want to lose this fight, is open sell this guy and then pick the Garen up after. I guess the downside to buying this Garen, though, is that, yeah, you just do this. The downside to buying Garen in this spot is that it makes you crack 30 gold, which feels really, really bad. While he's looking at even potentially slamming this Warmogs onto a less optimal unit just so that he can save some HP. And while I think he's just going to say gold is king here, I don't want to break 30 gold. I'm on a 4 loss streak here. I'll find some kind of Chosen I can play over the next couple of rounds. I'm not going to pick up the Sentinel Garen, which seems so crazy to not buy Sentinel Garen here. But, oh, he locks it. Oh, that's so smart. You just lock the Sentinel Garen. You're not going to find a better Chosen. So you just lock for it, make 30 there, and then play it this round. Oh, duh. Like, you just, yeah, you lock for the Garen. I feel like that's a play that maybe other people might have seen, and then I just missed. But, like, I feel like that's such a straightforward, like, really, really smart play. He is also going to not care about holding on to these Heartsteel units because we don't have the Cassante anymore. It's pretty unlikely we're actually going to get to Heartsteel. So we're just going to play this setup. And, like, I guess we're going to play for Ahri this game. Blue buff Quinsu Ahri. It's not the worst. The problem is that, especially with blue buff, she's going to spend so long casting that I don't think it's... I think it's pretty bad. You know, like, compared to Nashor's, it's quite a bit worse. But we'll see here. Not going to opt to hold, like, Poppy or anything because we have the Sentinel frontline that's already quite solid. And yeah, augment-wise here, Hedge Fund, Uplink plus this. I mean, Uplink seems really, really good with the fact that we already have all these extra components, and we're probably playing towards Ahri. And we made the TG, which is, like, really, really good with Uplink. So yeah, he's just going to opt to make Uplink here. Gets a Lulu in as just kind of like a cool guy who does cool stuff on the board. Though I guess... How are you? Okay, so he's just going to sell a Garen pair here. Because, like, I would probably be tempted to just not even hold a Lulu, but I think he wants to hold a Lulu for an easier pivot into, like, an Ahri board. Okay, I think I'm starting to understand how this guy plays. And give me less of these... I don't know. For some reason, I don't like the percussive lo-fi as much. I like the much calmer ones. In any case, I think I'm starting to piece together how YBY plays the game. And he's just... It's not anything, like, insane, right? It's not like he's, like, doing crazy stuff. But he's just playing good TFT. What is this? Oh, wow. Okay, so he sells the Senna, so we can move the Gwynsu over to Lulu, and it's going to be Gwynsu Lulu as sort of a secondary caster, especially because we have this uplink. Spreading items is preferable. And then we're just going to blue buff for, like, the Ahri or Ezreal or whoever later. And yeah, like, he doesn't have to be playing towards Ahri this game, but he's just playing what a lot of people call, like, standard TFT. He's slowly... He's slamming items that make sense in his position, and then using those to slowly reduce the number of outs that he can play to until it's less, until he figures out what comp he plays. Once those outs converge with what he hits off of the 4-2 roll down, he just plays the game. I think it makes so much sense. I would think you would go bow here, or either a red buff or a Nashor's, and it was 4-cost bow as well, but he wants to go for Rod here, which is really interesting to me. I would think you always level in this position because it's essentially free. You're only paying 1 gold for it. And he is going to hold on to the Nico, which I think makes sense. And he's just going to slam Rod onto the Aphelios here. It's uplink value. It's going to save him some HP. And, you know, it's not like we're playing Aphelios late game. I guess maybe if we find, like, a Caitlyn, we might. But I don't think Caitlyn really exists in our scope of outs. It's really just Ezreal or Ahri in this position, I think. and then like maybe you could play like a true damage Akali with blue buff. Goes pretty well, I believe. Though Ezreal and Ahri are definitely the ones that you would want in a spot like this. Ahri probably better because you get the ability to play around Vertical Sentinel. But yeah, really curious to see. Ooh, that was a scary spot from that player that he scouted there. That was 5. Yeah, this person 5 Heartsteel with Cybernetic Bulk Prismatic. If you can play Heartsteel with a Cybernetic Augment, you are in an amazing spot. Also, interesting spot from this player here. Sleight of Hand into Lucky Gloves. I think I actually you're gonna flame the hell out of me, but you're not, because you guys are nice viewers. But I bought forward in a similar position to this person because some boards actually aren't as good with Lucky Gloves, Sleight of Hand kind of setup, because you just don't have that many units to itemize. Like for example, that board there that he was looking at, the board where they're playing around Yone, it's a little bit hard to have multiple units to itemize on that board. It's not that difficult though. It's better than I was playing like an Ahri Akali board, which I've also just sworn off. I'm never playing this Ahri Akali comp again, unless I see YBY1 play it, then maybe I'll play it. But it was Ahri Akali board, and my TGs ended up on like Gnar and like Nico 2 and like Echo 1, and like it just doesn't. It's just not a prismatic augment at that point whatsoever. In any case, our board's pretty strong. We have enough gold to 4-2 it because we played around econ so hard early. I feel like this is something that YBY1 does amazingly, is playing around that early game stage 2. Augment-wise here, he rips through these augments so fast, which I think actually makes a lot of sense. It's something like 4-2 here. Like, you want to rip through these augments really fast to give yourself the max amount of time to pivot, right? 49 seconds on the clock here. Every second you take thinking about, like, Pandora's here, which isn't really ever worth thinking about, is a second that you're not taking to transition their board. He rolls these, picks up the Forge here, which could actually be a pretty nice option, though I think, like, I feel like some of these Forge options are a little bit repetitive. I actually like the dummy a good bit. It's going to get the HP from Cybernetic. You do kind of need item. Maybe it's just Forge. The problem is you don't know what you're pivoting into here yet. Like, you could take a Mana Zane for your Ahri and you'll blue buff mana. I guess you could go but I don't. The stats really hate Zanya's Ahri, I believe. But yeah, like, say you take a Mana Zane here. I guess Mana Zane could fit on Ahri or on Ezreal. It's just so much casting and so little. I mean, wait, he has Mana Zane blue. Oh, okay. We hit Jhin pair, but we don't have Jhin 2 yet, so let's not go crazy yet. Once again, like, really cool how he decides which units to skip, because these are quick rolls. He decides, I can't play around Caitlyn. I'm not gonna even give Caitlyn the time of the day. I can't play around Zac because I can't play around Zed. I'm not gonna give Zac the time of the day. I need to be playing around Ezreal or okay, I get it. I understand why this guy's rank 1 global. Like, I actually understand the speed with which he rolls and with which he decides that, like, outs are not worth it is really impressive. Like, the quickness that he determines that, okay, this is not the unit that I need on my board, I'm going to play towards this instead, is really insane. And yeah, he puts together this board, which is really cool. Gets Heartsteel in here with the Kayn that he picked up here. Heartsteel, which, like, are quite dead units, honestly. He'd really like to pick up, like, a set or something like that. And then he decides to play around the Poppy. Poppy, beautiful with these items. Warmogs, Declaw, amazing Poppy items. I wasn't even thinking about the Poppy out because I was thinking about backline outs, but honestly, this Jhin is going to be enough damage with these items. He's going to ramp up insanely fast to get to these turrets, and all you need to do is buy time for him, and he's bought time for him. I mean, another beautiful roll down. I'm pretty sure I just need to watch every single one of this guy's 4-2 roll downs. Like, if you guys just go watch every single one of this guy's 4-2 roll downs, you will become an infinitely better player at this patch, because the speed, and I know I'm on 2x speed, but, like, I know if you put my VODs on 2x speed and look at my 4-2s, they will be so much worse than that. Either I'll be missing like really reasonable outs, or I will be just, you know, like, playing like picking up stuff that or like wasting too much time thinking about outs that aren't realistic. Like, the fact that he rolls past the unreasonable outs and picks up, like, this Poppy here was not that obvious to me as the take here, but, like, in hindsight, it's completely obvious. It's always Poppy. Red buff would be really nice here. Renan's maybe is. I think you would just go red buff if you have the option, right? You have bow open. It's got to be red buff, right? He's thinking about, I don't know. I think he's just giving himself the max amount of time to think, but, like, I don't see how it could ever be anything but red buff here. I mean, this is worse than everything, right? You want to play these 3 guys. for Sentinel, for Mosher, and for just a good guy on your board. Also, he's being really, he's thinking a lot about his positioning here. Oh, okay. Ooh, red buff the Kayn. Okay, he's not going to put it onto Jhin. He says, I have enough like attack speed and damage on Jhin. I'm just going to red buff the Kayn here. He's going to do a better job of spreading it to multiple targets. He's just going to be a little low here, and we're actually losing to an Arya Kali board. What year is it? This is insane. But I mean, once again, similar to the last game we reviewed, it's he managed to get Heartsteel in stage 4. He managed to get to stage 4 very healthy, and he's managing to push 9 after rolling a decent bit. Like, every single game, it feels like it's 4-1. He's stable with 30 gold, which is an incredibly difficult thing to do in TFT. I feel like so many people, you know, roll to 0 on 4-2. Well, yeah, 4-2. I said 4-1, but I meant 4-2. So many people roll it to 0 on 4-2 and still have weaker boards than this guy has when he still has 30 gold left over, which speaks to his econ efficiency early game and to just how pretty these pivots are. TG, great item here. Actually amazing. Really, really good cash out to get here. And the nice thing is that by fitting in this Kayn in this set, and the Cassante here, which I think might have been, I mean, he played 5 Heartsteel last game. He always has like a really, really easy job, like getting these cash outs late game because his board is strong and he's allowed to get cash outs. I would probably just go Guardbreaker here. You could try to Reforge and hope you find something better, but I really want a third item for this Jhin here, and I think Guardbreaker is completely fine on him. He's gonna go for the JG, and then, oh, wow. Wow. Reforge the Gwynsu, and he actually hit Gunblade here, which is quite good hit here. And he said, you know, if I hit like any AD item, I can put this onto Jhin. If I hit an AP item, I can put it onto my, yeah, wow. It's a really, really smart Reforge there, and ends up with much better. And the JG, I think this guy's a Kayn believer, and I think I need to become more of a Kayn believer, because he real, oh my god. All right, he slumps in his chair because this guy is a Kali 3. I did not notice this, and I don't think he noticed it either. Or maybe he did notice it, and he just knew that it was hard to stop him. He's he's kind of tilting because he has to fight this guy, but like, he's still actually in a completely reasonable spot because of the fact that he's 50 HP here. Like, he's easily going to top 4 this game. And now, like, the question is, what can he play for? Like, he's pretty healthy. Oh my god, Jhin 2 on 8? I mean, he was going to hit it on 9 anyway, right? He had so much gold to play with on 9. But the Jhin 2, this might actually be able to farm him like a second. We'll see how the game ends up going. I don't know who this other win streak player is. Hopefully they're not another 3-star 4 cost, because then we're probably just playing for 4th at that point. But yeah, like, look, this Ahri TF board, which is a pretty interesting board, also really, really nice for the Declaw to end up kind of like farming them, is fine. But we can easily beat this, drop them down to 27 HP, and then it's probably a third at the worst, maybe a second if we end up in a really good spot here. He looks at Renans here. I think he wants this just so that he has the Kiana here. I really was looking at potentially a Kayn item there, but yeah, he wants to just play max cap Kiana here. Opts to hold on to the Poppy on this roll down because he doesn't think he's going to find something too much better than that. And yeah, he's just going to roll here and try to find something to play. I don't think Jhin 3 is happening, buddy, but maybe. Maybe your cash out here is like a few duplicators, and then you just hit Jhin 3 on 9 like a beast. It's not... I mean, your cash out is never going to be... It maybe can be like a duplicator. I don't actually know what all the cash outs are at this amount of stacks, but look at this Jhin go. He's going to hold the Jhin pair. So he's saying, you know what, maybe, you know, give me a duplicator here. He gets another TG, which is like really good here. Sona pair as well here. Maybe the time has come, yeah, to get out of Heartsteel. He's going to get... Wait, no, he keeps Heartsteel in by pivoting into the Ezreal. That's so funny. And then I assume you're going to TG this Sona for the mana gen, yeah. Yeah, he decides that he actually wants to keep Heartsteel in. He's going to sell those gens and say, okay, it's a bit much, right, to hold on to these gens. But look at this fight versus this Akali 3 player. It's a relatively good loss here. Like, it's actually not bad at all. And he's holding a ton of 5-cost pairs here. Holds on to the Alawi as well, of course. And boom, there it is. Alawi 2, Kayn 2. I think in any reasonable lobby, he'd be looking at potentially winning with this really, really pretty capped board. But in this lobby, he's probably playing for like 3rd or 2nd, maybe, because of his HP. I don't know what Call Me Geo's board is, because their spot is looking really, really nice. Ends up taking, yeah, I mean, you can't take TG there. You just take third item for Kane here. He's trying to figure out if there's a way to fit this York, because like it should fit relatively well onto this board. Though you already are playing to but like you want to play this unit to bridge the gap here. You could sell Poppy, but that's open selling like your biggest tanks. You don't really want to do that. So like the question is York better than this? I don't think so, but these guys are just, this is just true damage pair. Like they're not actually doing anything synergistically with the rest of the board there. So like maybe the idea is York. I just don't really see, it seems kind of awkward to fit York on this board. I think if you weren't playing the Poppy, the York would fit a lot better just because like you wouldn't be playing this weird like 3 Mosher setup. Oh my god, yeah, this guy, wait, this guy hit Blitzcrank 3 as well. Now, I will say, if we can buy enough time with our front line, okay, maybe we can. I was gonna say, maybe the Blitzcrank can get through this. But yeah, this lobby is just all 3-star 4 cost. Shows what happens when it's just an insanely capped lobby like this. He's gonna start selling some of his units to try to find something to get him there, and he is going to end up pivoting into the York here and just playing York Thresh here. 3. Oh no, 4 Mosher, because it's chosen Mosher Poppy. I'm an idiot. Oh, okay, so then the York actually fits decently well. I mean, 4 Mosher not amazing, but it's not bad. We're gonna fight this Call Me Geo guy, who I'm surprised that they're so healthy, because their board in many ways looks actually kind of weak here compared to a lot of these other people. This Feed guy is gonna end up winning the fight, and he's just like, please, somebody kill this guy. Like, please, I need that, because like he just wants at least a third this game, right? Like, surely this board, Jin 2, Kane 2, Alawi 2, Sona 1, with like multiple Heartsteel cash outs, surely this board's not going just 4th. We fight the Akali player. Oh, and I saw someone call out this positioning on Twitter. This is really, really heads up stuff. He puts these tentacles in kind of like a triangle that's made with the Alawi. So what's going to happen is Alawi's going to dash here, and then it's going to dash here, and this Jin is going to dodge this dash, I believe, because of where the Akali is. So yeah, check this out, and then Akali dashes here. So Jin actually gets to dodge 2 Akali casts, which is huge when you're fighting an Akali 3. Really, really beautiful positioning stuff. Like this is really nice, because if you put them on the edge here, 1, there's a chance she'll dash here and then walk to Jin, like. And then 2, you know, like if she ends up staying there, then she can dash back. Like, look at this. Wait a minute. He won. He beat the Akali 3 player with this positioning. There's no way. Oh my god. And that actually secures him. If he had lost that fight, which he surely would have if he hadn't positioned for it, then this game would just be a 4th. But beautiful positioning. Beats Akali 3. And oh my god, he's actually 3rd at worst. Maybe we can keep playing for something better. He took Emo's Fat here, which he's actually going to put on Thresh, which is interesting. I've seen it on Yorick usually. And yeah, he's just going to bunch up his front line here, try to make it so that this Blitzcrank cannot get to his backline, and just try to buy as much time as possible. It seemed like his board did not have enough damage to get through this Blitzcrank, but maybe it does. Oh my god, he wins this fight as well. That was versus Clone. And the Blitzcrank, he really wants the Blitzcrank player to lose so it can be a top 2, but no, it's still it's only a top 3 still. He needs this Feed player to die, but he's fighting probably their real right now, so he somehow has to beat the Blitzcrank 3 again. And now that he's fighting the real version, it looks really, really hard. He just needs to make sure that this Kane doesn't get sort of like one-tapped by the ability of the Blitzcrank. This is actually pretty good, where the Blitzcrank ends up walking over to the left side. Kane's killing a decent amount of units, but the Blitzcrank's still alive, and he didn't get to kill backline this time. He didn't get to kill the Twisted Fate, so it's just going to be a 3rd. But I mean, this has to be one of the most impressive 3rds I have ever seen in TFT. Like, oh my god. Like, how did he even, like, this game was probably going to be a 4th, but playing for that placement, beating the Akali 3 board, and then beating the Blitzcrank, wow. I mean, this guy is an absolute beast of TFT. I love watching him. I'm going to do some more VOD reviews of him, because I feel like I just have to after watching these games. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, all my other links. The link to my VOD, my new VOD channel, is also down below, as I mentioned in the last video. I will catch you guys later. Bye.